I mean, I don't know why I'm always doing it like this, but every time I got a little bit of money on my bank account, I just reinvest every single cent.
Take me to the promised land. This was your final warning. Don't act like you're the last to know. You had the chance to save her.
Hey guys, so welcome to the studio. As you might be able to see, Studio B is now all done. At least this side. The other side is still pure chaos. But yeah, give me 1 or 2 more days. I need to buy more fabric. It was barely enough to cover those two. And one one layer of the back wall. But I'm extremely happy. It looks good. I love the color. I love how everything turned out. The vocal booth I can clearly see through, which is really nice. I got my 2 guitars here. I got my huge keyboard here, my desk, my monitor. So basically this is version 2.0 of my old studio. It's a little bigger, it's a little better, everything is a little nicer. So I'm really happy about it. It just took 2 months, which is way more than I expected, but still. We're getting there. Building my previous studio took maybe 2 weeks, and I did everything myself with a little bit of help of my dad for everything that had to do with the ceiling. And this studio right here, I had help so far by 5, 6 people, like moving, constructing, designing, planning. A lot of people, I think even 8 or 10 are involved in making this happen. And it of course all has to do with like having more room. The old studio was like maybe 17 square meters, and this one is like 220. So a lot more to repair, a lot more to construct, a lot more to plan, which is quite expensive, like really expensive. And since a lot of people are always interested in how much things cost, so I would estimate like one of those corner back wall absorbers, the material maybe 60 euros. If you calculate in the labor, it depends. If you pay someone else to do it, it could be like 300, 400 euros. I would highly suggest to do it yourself. It's not that hard, but you definitely need to have the tools and a little bit of knowledge how to drill and screw it. It's very simple. If you can make music, you can also build corner absorbers. And for all of the people that are as obsessed as me with symmetry, we didn't build anything wrong here. I mean, yes, here's more space than there next to the window. It's just the window isn't centered in the wall. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it except for just installing a curtain that goes in front of it to make it nice and symmetrical. I just love that stuff. I can't watch the entire day onto a wall that just is as wrong as this one. I just can't. It would drive me nuts. The couch should be now centered. I'm feeling a lot better. Again, here fabric has to go all the way. I think it will look really nice. I just love the color. It just looks even better in real life than through the camera, and the diffuser is just beautiful. And here again for the back wall, I'd say let's make it like 400 euros, just the material, maybe 450, plus the time spent on this wall. It's a lot. Never ever pay someone to do it. Just do it yourself. It would be way too costly. Just the diffuser took 3 people, half a year sanding, gluing. I never ever will do this again. Like the diffuser, every single piece by hand glued to the backboard. It was insane. But of course all of this for the room acoustics. So in total, yeah, a little bit over 1,000 euros for this project studio. Just the control room, plus the speakers, the monitor, the keyboard, the cables. Yeah, let's make it 2.5k euros, which isn't a lot. I mean, if you just work, even if you're a student for like 3, 4, 5 months, you can actually make that much money and have a studio that is definitely good enough to make any kind of music. Then of course plus the computer and some plugins, but some of you know how to get them without paying, but I don't want to get into that discussion again. And then you got here the vocal booth, or the window to the vocal booth. This is like 150, so 2 windows, which each are consisting of 3 windows that have argon gas in between, just to isolate everything and make sure no sound is getting through. I mean, you probably remember at the beginning, like 2 months ago in the daily vlog, we cut it out, this huge piece out of the wall, which produced a whole lot of dust. And the wall was back then still pink because someone did weird stuff in here before. And then of course the entire absorbing material on the other side. So this wall is really like half a meter, almost half a meter of absorption, all of that green stuff that itches and is ugly and disgusting. So I'd say here this wall maybe also like 300, 400 the material, plus the glass, plus the time for the vocal recording booth, just the acoustic treatment. Of course, on top of that, your microphone, headphone, cables, stands, pop shields and whatnot. Also, the door got some special treatment, acoustic foam. We just used it to seal the doors, because like putting rubber in the door, in between the door and the frame, wasn't possible because it couldn't close. So we did it this way. It gives a little more absorption for the voice, not for the lower frequencies. Looks kind of cool, it's really up to taste. And this way we also didn't have to paint the doors, which would be like another week of work. One of these pieces is 1 square meter, and I think they're like 8, 9, maybe 10 euros. So 400 euros in the studio just for the pyramid foam. It's also covering the entire hallway between the Studio B and the vocal recording booth. This wall, I'm still not sure about it, if it will stay white or I will also make it black to have like a cool room that is just black, maybe one light up there. And yeah, just because it doesn't really serve a purpose except for making sure that no sound is transferred between both rooms. And in case I might record a drummer in the vocal booth, I could still have a singer, a guitar player in the hallway in between and still kind of make it work. But the real reason we covered is because the wall behind it is it just looks like shit. It's not really even, so with the foam you can't really see it, so it's just covering the shit behind it. So those are all in all the costs for the studio downstairs. I don't even want to start with the studio upstairs here, because the absorbers are even bigger. The back wall is a lot bigger. I will need way bigger speakers in here, so I think I will spend like 4 to 5 times more for this room than for the downstairs room, although I got the vocal booth downstairs. And since today I had to do my taxes for the past 2 months where I started like building the studio and buying everything, I got actually the big number for the total, which is quite insane. Like a year ago I didn't even make that in the entire year. I mean, I don't know why I'm always doing it like this, but every time I got a little bit of money on my bank account, I just reinvest every single cent back into my music, be it promotion for my music, be it building the studio, having new ideas, new opportunities. And usually I make more with those ideas than I spend on them, so it's good. But then again, if I make a plus, I spend it again. So basically no matter how much I earn, it's always all gone. And it's not that I'm spending it on private stuff. I basically don't even have a private life. My hobby is my job, and my job is my hobby, my love, and my passion. So it all goes hand in hand, and it's really hard to distinguish between what is private and actually work. For me, it's just like one flowing thing where I don't even know what's happening.
This was your final warning. Don't act like you're the last to know.
Another successful day in the studio. All done. Usually on the days where no one else is here and I'm on my own, I just focus fully on producing music, but since my speakers are not working, that's not really an option. But waiting for the new speakers is actually worth it. They will be so cool. And by far also the biggest investment ever. They're probably worth more than everything else in that studio, even close to this car. It's like immense, but speakers are important. It's like the #1 tool that you need to actually hear what you're doing. Without good speakers, good room acoustic, you're pretty much screwed. Why do you need a compressor for 3,000–4,000 euros if you can't even hear the difference between it and a software compressor? It's again time to hurry up. Today, yeah, with a bit of luck, I might be actually in time. Chocolate for me?
No, it's for my grandma.
I'm actually hungry like crazy.
You're going to have goulash?
Goulash? Oh, okay.
Goulash.
It's a little warm for that, but I don't mind. Today's Vanessa's dad's birthday, so food, some drinks, cake.
Yeah, Donauwelle.
Oh, that's the good German stuff.
Your savior, now leave her alone. You had the chance to be the savior. You didn't save her. She was on, she was on, she was on.